So, last night I was just, like, hanging out, and, no, seriously, I wasn't wearing clothes. No, I was hanging out, with my mother, not my father, but my grandfather was in town, for a medical emergency, so I took him and my mom out to, an Asian buffet last night. And, little before we get into the actual commentary, it's this really, really fun thing I like to do when I go to an Asian buffet. I mean, this would apply to people with all kinds of different accents and people that do not know English well. Is every time I go to a buffet, specifically an Asian one, because that's where you have a lot of people that do not speak English, I go to them and I always ask them what type of drinks they have, what type of beverages, because they're either going to say Pepsi or Coke products. But every time they say it, Pepsi comes out pussy and Coke comes out cock. So when I'm with my mom, I do it all the time to embarrass her, because she knows that question's popping up. So if you're ever just bored and out with your family and you want to ask them what they have, and you know what they're actually saying, it's pretty funny. So enjoy that. But anyways, immaturity aside, no, actually, that's the entire topic of the whole video. So I was sitting at the table, we were just paying our checks, and my mom gets a phone call. And then she's like, I don't know, hang on, he's right here. She hands me the phone, and I'm like, what? I'm like thinking, maybe it's my grandma, but I'm like, my grandma has my number, why is she calling my mom for this? There's no way anyone knows we're out to dinner or anything. And it turns out it's her friend Dawn from work. And this lady, I don't really know that well or anything like that. But she's asking me, she's like, hey, Dustin. Yeah, that's my name, Dustin, by the way, Dustin Bieber. And I'm hanging out, and I'm like, oh, we're just eating food. And she's like, so yesterday, my son's best friend bought this Xbox Live, and he convinced me to buy him Xbox Live today. Her son's 12 years old, by the way. And everything was looking fine. He played all day. Everything's okay. After dinner, he goes upstairs and plays video games. And he comes back down 15 minutes later and asks me what a butt fuck is. And I start laughing so hard, couldn't control it. Because part of me is like, that's Xbox for you. Part of me is, that's 12-year-olds for you. He's at that age. You're going to watch out. He's going to ask you for $10 for a name change so he can have, like, legit X-Scope ZZ and having YOLO in his clan tag. I mean, there are steps for this. And the fact that she just opened the door to this accidentally as a parent must scare the hell out of you. And she's like, see, how do I talk to my son? How do I tell my 12-year-old son what a butt fuck is? And to me, I'm just starting to laugh. I'm like, there's really no way to censure your kid to things like this. Most adults, they may cuss, but it's not like to the level or severity that the children and teenagers do. 16-year-olds running around. She's like, oh, well, he's 16 and he did this. And then my mind starts to wander, and I'm like, in what way did he have to come down, and curiosity just kicks in and asks mom what a butt fuck is. So either A, somebody said they're going to butt fuck him, or B, they're going to butt fuck his mom. That's the formula for Xbox insult. Something about their mom and put a butt fuck or curse word in there. And that's what happened. So this kid was just curious because somebody probably said they were going to butt fuck him and had no clue what was going on. So to me, that kind of, at first I was laughing, and then me being a father now, this would have never clicked to me, but I'm like, that scares me. I don't really want to ever have to be in that situation. She's like, is there any way to censor it or do it? And I'm like, no, there's nothing you can really do about it. People could jump in your party, they're going to talk in game, and I'm like, what games is he playing? He's playing that Ghosts game, and I'm like, oh, now it makes sense. Of course, in a Call of Duty lobby, you're going to have that. And I told her, I'm like, he's going to have that every 10 minutes. In between every game, every minute intermission, he's going to have people yelling like that and saying things like that. And that, honestly, is probably one of the most G-rated sayings he's going to hear throughout the night. So creativity definitely blossoms in curse form on the Xbox Live. And I started to think to myself, man, I've got a son. I'm very, very involved in shooters and gaming and stuff. How do I tell my son that he can't do what I can do? He's going to want to be like daddy, you know what I mean? So, I started thinking to myself, you know, after I got home and, you know, the laughter just subsided, I started thinking, I'm like, well, damn, I don't want my cud to deal with that. When he's 12 years old, I wouldn't mind him learning and understanding the importance, because by then he's going to understand what guns are. He's probably going to even shoot by then. So he's going to have an appreciation for them and understand that. So I don't mind him playing violent games, as long as, you know, I can embed it in him that he knows that it's all fake and you never do that in real life, which you can easily teach a child. On the flip side, that whole you know, VoIP for PC and stuff like the fact that people can talk to you, I'm going to have to be very, very aware of what's going on and try to save him from that kind of stuff. I mean, he's going to have to play PC only with Daddy, where you can monitor that stuff a little bit easier. You can just turn VoIP off like that. I mean, I don't know if you can do that on Xbox. I know you can mute people individually in the lobby, but I don't know if you can actually turn voice chat off entirely. It may be a thing, I'm not sure. But either way, it's scary to know that, you know, her 12-year-old came downstairs, and the last thing she expected him to ask is, you know, I'm worried about where the babies come from, because I'm legit just going to be like spawn beacons, you know. I'm kind of worried about that one, but to have your 12-year-old come downstairs and ask what a butt fuck is, that's going to flip some tables. Like, what? So, to me, I thought that was very, very interesting. It's actually kind of sad, you know what I mean? Like, that happens. Because we use video games as stress relief for fun, and we can't just casually experience it with friends because we ruin it with, you know, the standard cuss word's one thing, but the fact that he's trying to find out, you know, you don't hear people say butt fuck or, you know, something like that often. You don't hear insults like that. So that's not one of the traditional mommy and daddy words. That's creativity right there. So I don't know. It kind of scares me. I'm not sure whether or not I want to let my son play video games like that on a multiplayer scale, because you can't go back now. Either A, she's going to look like a bad mom from taking his Xbox Live away, which he just spent $60 on, or B, she lets him do it, and and buttfuck is now a part of his vocabulary. So, you know, I mean, how do you do it? And I myself, I would honestly probably just have a sit down with him, like, son, you need to understand these words are bad to use, and do not ever use them away from Xbox. You can call all of them people butt fucks, just don't let me hear you say it. Don't call your teacher a butt fuck. Don't call your pastor a butt fuck. Whatever, and it's okay. So, I don't know. It was just confusing, and it kind of put a realization into my mind after the humor went away that I don't know if I want my kid around stuff like this. And it kind of scared me a little bit because, you know, even though I'm a very, very vulgar person and I act like this, I'm also an adult and I clown around a little bit, but I also am kind of numb, you know? The same way people always throw around the word fag or anything like that. It's just because it's kind of numb. It's a word it loses its potency when it's not used in a harmful manner, but it's just tossed around so casually, and we lost track of this. I'm not going to stop doing it. I mean, there's no way you can change the world like that. And as soon as you tell somebody they can't do it, they're going to do it even more. So it's just one of those things that's too far off. But I just thought it was creative. I thought it was weird. I thought it was a funny moment that happened in my life. I wanted to share it with you guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy that little moment. What would you do if you had a kid and you knew that's what the internet game was like? Now, I know you do it and you're okay with it, but what do you think is going to happen? Do you think you'd let your 12-year-old be exposed to something like that? How do you handle that? I don't know. So leave a comment down below, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this commentary. I'll catch you guys with another Battlefield video.